Good morning, and welcome to another episode of Good Morning Soul, or as I like to call it sometimes, GMS, when I'm feeling in an acronym kind of mood. And today I wanted to talk about my music channel, Soul Music, and I kind of wanted to talk about the origin of this channel. And this is kind of like how I start. Like, I have like 5 channels right now, and this is kind of like an example of like how why I make so many channels and like why it is how it is. And I thought the origin of this channel might be like an indicator of that, and it's an interesting story as well. So when I started to do like reviews, obviously I'm trying to make them as big and best as possible. I put a lot more work into them than I do now, because now I do like so many things, and I know the reviews, like, people don't, I don't think a lot of people even gave a shit about like all that extra shit I was doing. But that's besides the point. Like, back then I was like trying to put in like background music, and I was trying to put in like outro music for like the outros. And so what I was doing for this, because I could have just, gone to YouTube audio library. I could have gone to like a number of places to get free music. I could have answered those stupid ass emails from like MCMs trying to steal what little money I have, in case I ever blow up. But which, by the way, don't sign up to most of those unless they offer you an extremely good deal. And if they're ever offering like, oh, we have free music you can use, everyone has free music I can use, dude. But at the time, I wanted to have like actually like real like music, not just like YouTube audio library music. I wanted like quality. So I was going on to SoundCloud, and I was just kind of like hitting up artists like, hey, do you mind if I use your music for like my outro or whatever? And they were like, nah, go for it, just link me or whatever. And a lot of the times I was putting them like in the outro, like I was putting like their thumbnail, and I was annotating it to their SoundCloud or whatever else, their social media. And as time went on, I kept doing this because I still really just like hitting up creators trying to get support. I do this for On the Rise still. I still do this when I'm looking for people to feature on Soul Music. And doing that like brings more viewership. I know it's like a slow ass process. Like you think one person at a time, but one person at a time, like back then and still now, is good for me. So like, even if you did that once a day and you were able to get a subscriber a day, then after 2 years you're already past where I'm at. So hell yeah. And in another year and a half you're gonna be able to make money, because fuck YouTube. But yeah, Soul Music, I was contacting all these people, and I was like, a lot of these guys just don't have YouTube channels, and I feel like a lot of the music I found on SoundCloud back then and now is so fucking good, and there's so much talent not being used. And I'm like, when I'm saying I'm searching SoundCloud, a lot of time I'm just scratching the surface, and I'm coming away with so much good quality. And so I was like, hey, I obviously was subscribed to a couple channels, because back then I just listened to songs more than albums. So I was listening to a lot of these channels like Galaxy Music, stuff like that. Music channels where they just promote random artists song by song and make videos about it. So I was like, hey, I could hit up like a lot of these artists that I've been featuring, and just, I can use them for an outro, and I can feature their content in a video. So I started up Soul Music. I hit it up a couple of the people who I already knew kind of well. Most of them didn't respond back, and a couple of them did. A couple of them let me use their content, and I made a video out of it. And back then, I've done so many stylistic things for Soul Music. There isn't really a concrete format to how the videos look for Soul Music, and I don't really plan on changing that, because I don't want to ever just do the same thing over and over again, even if it is for just a music channel. And that's kind of how Soul Music has always been. It's just a music channel. It's always been like a side project. Like, a lot of the times when I would start my work for the day for YouTube, I would just take like 30 minutes to do whatever I need to do for SolMusic, and then I'd go back to my actual work. And despite the fact that SolMusic is the one that actually gave me views or whatever, and money. The only money I've ever received is because of SolMusic. And, you know, I was hitting up so many artists, and I hit up like Atlas, the guy whose video that blew up, and all these other people. So much good content, so much good stuff, and a lot of it just isn't on YouTube. So like once it's on YouTube, you know, a whole new market. Like YouTube, I don't know if it's the same as much now, but because now there's a lot better like accessible streaming platforms. But a lot of the time, especially back then, people only listened to YouTube. Like, that's how they were streaming their music. Like, it was the only place to go back then. And people were just YouTube converting the shit out of everything. And people are probably still YouTube converting, like, the shit out of music. Like, I'm sure a bunch of people are still doing that, right? So, with SolMusic, I hit up like my buddy Keith. He makes music. I was putting out tracks for a lot of different things, a lot of rappers, just because, you know, I put out the music I like, and I'm really into rap music, and I put out like, this also like allowed me to learn more about like EDM styles too, because at first, like, I didn't know the difference between like drum and bass and like house music. Like, I didn't understand what those words meant back then. So that was a nice learning curve for me, starting this channel. And, you know, there were so many good tracks that I've put out on that channel. And as time gone on, like, recently I've been doing a lot of like remixes to popular songs, because that gives me like a 10% chance of the video going well, like view-wise. Like 1 in every 10 remixes like will blow up, I've learned. Like, and those videos, you know, don't make money obviously because copyright, but I'm not making money regardless, especially now, so it doesn't really matter. And a lot of those remixes are really fucking quality, and they're not on YouTube, and they should be. So that's kind of like the point of SolMusic. And my rules for SolMusic are, I will put up anything I like. Like, there's no like one genre on SolMusic. SolMusic is a side project. It was never meant to be anything more than that. It's just me uploading into the dark these tracks that from artists I think are cool, and they upload cool songs. And, you know, that also allows me to use a lot of those tracks for artists who have let me to use them for like background music and music for like outros and stuff. And, you know, so it's like win. And, you know, I try to support all the artists that I feature. I obviously give them a follow. I give them the reshares. I link all their shit. I'll buy, like, if they have a link to buy it somewhere, I'm buying it. Obviously, I bought Atlas's bullshit. Like, I bought all of it. And yeah, that's kind of the origin of SolMusic. Nowadays, there's no like upload schedule. Eventually, like, it's like every once in a while I'll just remember that I should upload again, and I'll search for more content, and then everyone who like wants me to feature them, I'll feature them. And some of the videos go well, and some of them, you know, don't get that many views. That's the only frustrating thing, is like I can't promise them like that the videos are gonna get views. Like, I can show them like, here's an example, like a couple examples of a bunch of videos that blew up. You could blow up too, like, but statistically I don't know if you're going to. And, you know, a lot of these people don't even like want that long of a conversation. Like, once I ask, like, you know, there are other people hitting them up, and they don't really give a shit about having like a dialect with me. They're just it's kind of just like, oh, do you want me to feature you? Like, my name's Sol, and it's kind of, yeah, you can feature me. And then it's kind of, oh, okay. Like, what do you? I'll be like, oh, what do you like want me to put in this? They'll just be like, just my social media, like whatever. So nowadays when I contact these people, I try to keep it as short and sweet as possible, as like Like, you'd be surprised how like much shit gets mixed up in messages. Like people will just like not really understand what you're saying, despite the fact that it's in writing, but they'll read it once and just kind of skim through it and make up their own weird assumptions. And you know, the videos that blow up, like a lot of them still, like, I hate it when like I'll see a really nice song and they'll sample something. I don't even know about it because they didn't give any credit to the original artist. And then my video like will like get a flag or whatever, and there was a video or two. My first and only strike happened on SolMusic from a video that had like 50 views. It was bullshit. And then I've had like 2 videos blow the fuck up. They had like 1,000 views in like the first hour, and then the video got taken down for copyright reasons. It's bullshit. And then I've had a bunch of artists like there are other people who aren't the artist trying to like say that they own the music, and I'm like, I know that you don't own the music because I talked to the dude who owns the song, and he's completely okay with like me having the song. There's people trying to take the credit for the Atlas video, the Atlas Shows video. It has like close to 300,000 views, and there was people trying to take the money from that video, and I'm like, I know you don't own this, and not only do I know that you don't own this, but here's like the fair use. Like, if you have like written like I have written proof that the person who owns this track is okay with me uploading a track that falls under fair use. If you have permission from the artist to use their art, that falls under fair use. So even if you did own this, I'd still win this monetization thing. And there's still a couple people who will fight me for that monetization for tracks that they don't own. And it's so baffling. It's so baffling. And you know, there's an occasional, like, there was a guy or two who was like, oh, can you take down the track? I'm changing my music and I don't want like my old music to reflect my current name. I'll take the video down. Yeah, obviously. Like, it's your music. Like, I'm not like here to steal your music, dude. Like, if anyone wants the video down, I'll take it down. But yeah, I went past the 10-minute mark a little bit ago, so I'm gonna close this video out. I hope you guys got something out of that. It kind of maybe gave you an insight to what music channels go through. I was gonna get more into like just like how like when I throw so much shit at the wall, and I'm like, I have so many ideas that's why I make so many channels, but I wasn't able to get into that. But that's besides the point. I'm gonna let you guys go. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Later. And with that, I leave you.